In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use the MCD App Manager on your desktop to access your app's content and manage it. So right now, I've got the MCD App Desktop Manager on my desktop, and I'm going to enter my email address. Now, if your email address is associated with an app in our system, you click Next and you should see it in the list. So this is my app, very generically called Your Mobile App. So I'm going to tap into it. And what you'll notice here is on the left in the gray area, there's nothing. There's no menu items. This app is completely empty. What I want you to see here is the first thing you'll want to do is to get signed in, because once you're signed in, you'll see additional administrative features that regular users don't have. Also note, in your desktop menu up here, you have an account menu option and a My Accounts selection. That will actually jump you straight to a sign-in. So if your app has content and you don't land on this registration screen, you can jump to it through this account, My Account. All right, so I'm going to walk through this. This is a brand new account, so it's going to ask me for a PIN. This is a 4-digit number. I'll only have to do this one time because I'll be able to create a password. So I create my password, and from here on out, I'll just be able to sign in with a username and password. Now, notice in the bottom left, we have a new option, the app settings. So this is kind of the behind the curtain part of your app. Within it, you can see a number of options, including a promotion tab, a help tab, analytics, appearance, tabs and content, user manager, and image library. So in this video, we're going to just brush the surface of some of these features. The first thing we're going to do is actually add a tab to our app, because again, if I go back to my menu here, it's empty. There's nothing in it. So let's add a tab. So go to tabs and content. You can see I have no published tabs. I'm going to click the gear icon, and what you'll notice in every tab, you'll have just about a gear icon at the top right with your administrative options. In this case, I want to add a tab. And now I'll get a feature gallery. These are some of the out-of-the-box features that you can drop into your app. The Flex tab is what I'm going to start with. You can tap the info and get a brief description. If there's a video available, you'll see the video button here. You can watch the video and learn more about it. I'm going to tap the Use option. I'm going to name it My First Tab. I have the option of setting this as the default tab. That means new users who come into your app will start here. So this is what you would want to set for like a welcome to our app tab. So let me again click the gear. I can save it or I can publish it, which saves it and adds it to the menu. So notice here you have this publish unpublish paradigm. I'm going to publish it, and I can launch it, or I can go back to tabs and content and keep adding new content. So let me go back to tabs and content. Now you see we have our first tab under published. This center sub-tab here allows you to order your tabs. Right now we only have one, so there's no reordering needed. And then we have unpublished tabs. I actually have a couple of tabs here, including the user registration tab. I'm going to publish that. You'll see now I jump back into the order, and I can resort things however I want to do that. So if I go back to my menu, see now I have two tabs. Okay, so let's go to my first tab. This is a Flex tab. Again, you'll see this pattern where you have the gear icon at the top right where you can access your administrative features. If you're not signed in, you don't see these options. So let me sign out really quick. So I went back to my user tab. I just added that user tab. But again, I can also get to it through here. I'm going to sign out. I'll tap back to my first tab. You notice this icon has changed. It's now a share option. So that is that triggers a share where users can share onto Twitter or via SMS or email and share your app to others. Let me sign back in really quick. So notice here I don't have to do the PIN again. I just put my password. My app settings option is back down here on the bottom left, and my gear icon is back here on the top right. So a Flex tab is really for building static content. So let's say you had a welcome, you wanted a nice image with some text and maybe a call to action button. You manage that content through your gear icon and you want to add and edit content. So, but the thing I'm not going to build it here, I just want to point out this pattern, this admin pattern, because there's actually a video specifically for the Flex tab that lays out what the features are. So for now, we'll go back to our app settings and walk through what these different behind the curtain features are. Promotion, each app has a short link. This is a smart link that will redirect your users. Once your app is in the App Store, it will redirect users to the appropriate store based on the device they're clicking through. So if you're on an iOS device, you tap this link, it's going to take you to the Apple Store. And likewise for Android, it'll take you to Google Play. If you're on a desktop, it'll take you to a web page where you can download the desktop version or jump over to the Apple Store or Google Store. The Help tab is going to include a bunch of videos, including this one, where you can tap through all of them in a row, or you can access videos in the context of where you're working at the time. So I pointed out that the Flex tab, my first tab is a Flex tab, has a video option. You can see it here, or once you have content, you won't see this box anymore, but you can still get to your video right here through this gear menu. And that's also true for other tabs for which we have videos, and we'll publish videos for every tab type. Now, one thing to note is, even though on the desktop, this works exactly like what you'll see on your device. So in fact, I have right here a little screen share of my Android device running the MCD App Viewer, which is available on Google Play and the Apple Store. I'm going to tap into it just like I've already done on the desktop. Notice how my menu is now purple. I'm at my Account tab, and here's my first tab. So I'm seeing the same content. It's exactly the same. So what's running on your desktop is exactly what's running on your mobile device. So that means all the admin features that you can access on the desktop are also available on your mobile device. Now sometimes when you're drafting content, obviously it's easier from a keyboard. Let me add a little content here real quick just to demonstrate. I'm going to add just a text block. So I get a little WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. I'm going to hit my gear. Again, here's my gear icon with my save. So there's my text. Now over here, still says no content just yet. Well, if I navigate around, eventually it's going to show up. But if I want it instantly, I'm going to pull to refresh. There's my text. So the same is true on the desktop. If you're not seeing something that maybe another editor added, pull to refresh. You just click and drag with your mouse to make sure you've got the latest. And as you can see here, as you save things, it's immediately published to your app. So that's where, if we go back to app settings and you go to tabs and content, that's where unpublished items can really be beneficial. Let's say you're drafting content. You're not quite ready for the world to see it. Well, you can create a tab and save it without publishing it and access its content right here. So I'm going to tap content. I'm going to load up that tab, and I can add and edit content without it being in the app. So the only way to get to it is as an admin and through this tabs and content unpublished section. So here's published. This is our order subtab, and this is our unpublished subtab. The other thing I may want to do, let's say I want to change, let's go back here. Let's go to our published tab. Obviously, your finished app is probably not going to have a label, my first tab. So I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to call this welcome. Okay, if I save it, you see over here, it's changed. Now over here, it's still the same, but if I again pull to refresh, there it is. Took a second, but there's our welcome. I've renamed that tab. Okay, so that's done through tab settings. And again, you can get to tab settings through tabs and content. Here are my tabs, tap settings. Or Let's go back to my Welcome tab, click my gear, and tab settings. Same feature, accessed in a slightly different way. Okay. Now, when your app is ready to go, we'll be able to publish it to the App Store, and your users will launch directly into your app. You're accessing it through the App Manager, but when we launch to the store, you'll have your own icon, your own splash screen, your own color scheme, and obviously your own content, and your users will land right here, in this case, at the Welcome tab, at the tab that you define as your default.